So I'm ready.
Yeah. Well, it's really, like I said, it's just trying to how we move the conversation on. So to give you just a little bit more background about where we are at the moment as a company. So we're going to be fundraising in the next sort of couple of months based on where we are. Um, Now, assuming that that's sort of successful and moves forward, I'm definitely interested in what you've got and yeah, how we take that forward. How are you interested in potentially getting involved more with the company? Is it a sort of hands-off thing that you want, or is it more of an involvement, like I said, with the company in terms of advisory roles? I want to understand a little bit more about what you're looking for, what your aims are, and that kind of thing, really. So, but in terms of your principal concept, yeah, I think we would we'd definitely be interested in doing something with and around that.
Okay, let me share a screen to give you the answer.
Yeah.
I would like to remind you the phrase which you used 11 months ago in your interview to Best Startup UK. You said, our vision is to establish a platform with over 50 million users and a thriving community of tutors and students. We want our users to truly feel that they are getting immense benefits and confidence out of using the platform. Why I use this citation of yours? Because the only way, and I like it, I love it, I think we can do it together, but to have 50 million users, we need something absolutely new. That was never used, that which will give them the new opportunity to learn any foreign language. So I think that I would be definitely interested and involved on every step of creating this application together. And I may also, if you want to share with you even now, I can show you that I have a technical specification for creating this application. Let's call it AIWAT. AI Web Application Tutor acronym AIWAT. And I can show you 10 pages of detailed technical specification for creating this application. I think it would give us opportunity to reach your vision, and my vision is exactly the same. To get 50 million users, but to achieve this, we have to create something absolutely unique as FaceTime, Uber, whatever you take, which was never used before, it started at one point. We have to start it now.
Sure. Yep. I completely understand that it's definitely got to start somewhere. And I think that there's going to be multiple other aspects to this. And what I mean is things like, when it comes to app users and web users today, attention and trying to grab somebody's time, all of these are very interesting struggles and about how you go about getting people into the platform, how you get them to believe in what they're doing, and keep them coming back. These are all, you know, interesting aspects to address for sure.
Let me share the screen. Uh, I have asked Chat. By the way, do you use ChatGPT?
I do, and we can see some very good things from it, and we also see it make quite a number of mistakes in what we're doing. So it's a very interesting tool for sure, and I think it will have pretty good applications in the future. But from what we can see at the moment, to use any form of generative AI, you need to really narrow its field of focus. Otherwise, it tends to just report uh, things that sound likely, but aren't necessarily correct. So, for example, if you ask it, even on something like pronouns, for a lesson, it will make mistakes in that, but it sounds incredibly confident. And so, yeah, we've been looking at it, experimenting with it to see what we could do to help generate lessons and content and things on the fly. But it definitely needs a lot of what would be the words, like to contain it down to the right point to get something useful out of it.
Yeah, Paul, you're absolutely right. It is extremely powerful. We actually sometimes underestimate its power because it's more powerful than we are aware or we allow ourselves to think. I'll give you one example. Uh, the ChatGPT is so powerful that it will disrupt education as it is. For example, there's no doubt about it. Now, ChatGPT has predicted the day of aggression of Russia against Ukraine with absolute accuracy.
Really?
It is a known fact. Yes, I have seen it. Now, I would like to show you that what ChatGPT does, and it relates to your question. I have asked ChatGPT the following question. Arkady Zilberman, the inventor of subconscious training in English skills, has written extensively in his articles in ebooks about conscious and subconscious ways of learning. Can you elaborate on this topic and give examples of the benefits of subconscious training in English skills? So, you asked and you want to know who is Arkady Zilberman, and look what ChatGPT tells you. It's not I who have written. Arkady Zilberman, a prominent figure in the realm of English language learning, has made significant contributions through his extensive writings on conscious and subconscious learning. He delves into the nuances of these two approaches and sheds light on the benefits of subconscious training in developing English skills. We will expose this topic further and explain how subconscious training can be advantageous.
So
Conscious learning.
yeah, I don't disagree with what you're talking about with the conscious versus unconscious. I'm not at all questioning that. I'm just saying that there are that when it comes to designing and developing apps, the some of the challenges will be around things like, keeping people's attention, right? Because the natural way that apps have so far developed, there's a lots of um, you know gaming, Candy Crush, whatever, flashing lights, distractions, and none of these are particularly useful for learning English in any way, shape, or form. But they're, if you like, things that compete for people's attention, when they're involved in learning. And so don't get me wrong, I'm not criticizing the concept around the subconscious learning concept. I'm just saying that there's going to be things in there that we will need to work towards over time. And like I said, I'm sure you've got a great program. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you've worked through it many times, but it's a case of what we need to do on the app side to turn that into a reality that is amongst all these competing things, competing for attention, not necessarily competing in terms of English, but just competing in terms of attention that people do when they spend time on apps and stuff. So yeah.
Paul, your application Articulate has a few 100,000 customers. Send it to them first as a free gift and get their feedback. Write articles on LinkedIn. Go to a few famous language schools. If you understood the benefits of subconscious training, maybe showing them and directly demonstrating the application will allow them also to understand it. So you started and you got hundred thousands of customers. We will start and we will do everything to get millions of customers, because we are not competing with hundreds of and there hundreds of applications doing the same useless thing as conscious learning. It's not possible. So if you give them something as useful as this, you demonstrate, you create one or two videos showing how to, then everybody would like to jump on this wagon.
Mm-hmm.
You start by doing. Don't think, and now it's, I understand that from your experience, we are competing, gaming, blah, blah, blah. You are thinking the old ways. We created something absolutely new, and you cannot actually predict how quickly it will become popular, because it is useful, because it gives satisfaction, because people who start using it, they get immense pleasure of starting to speak English in the first lesson. They would be surprised that without learning English for a long time, immediately they start speaking, because we give them that subconscious crutch.
Yeah. And now, one of the other things that typically happens with existing apps, people come on and they try to choose a level, because they're trying to get something that's appropriate for them. And I do know as well there are a lot of what I would call intermediate to advanced users who they've done things like Duolingo, or even just standard evening classes and things like that. And after doing it for a long time, they still feel frustrated. So for people like that coming onto the app, do we need to tweak some of the methods to fit different levels. So, for example, I know earlier you mentioned that you with the shadowing, you know tend to use the language rate of about 70% compared to say what you know you'd expect for a native. But as they become more and more advanced, and you may already have this in your system, do we do things like narrow that window so it's not always 30% behind, it becomes 20% behind, it becomes 10% behind as they become more fluent? And yeah, I'm just interested in your thoughts around that as an example.
Yes. Talking about the levels, it's a unique application because it doesn't matter which level you have, absolute beginner or advanced intermediate, because it comes with 0 lessons. You create the lessons and you select the voice, male or female, you select the speed, and you select the level. Here, the lesson which I created after I talked to you and listen to it. I just click on it.
Into artificial intelligence. Introduction. Hello,
Introduction.
fifth
Hello,
grade
fifth
students.
grade students.
Today, we
Today,
will learn
we will
about an
learn about
exciting
an
field
exciting
called
field called
artificial
artificial
intelligence, or
intelligence,
AI for
or
short.
AI for short.
AI is all
AI is
about
about
teaching
teaching
machines to
machines to
think and
think
learn
and
like
learn
humans.
like humans.
It is like giving them
It's
a
like
brain of
giving
their
a brain
own.
of their own.
What is artificial?
So it adjusts to any levels. And of course, you have these settings built in. And if you use API, ChatGPT API, this one can be brought into our application. It's not necessary to build something like our special text to voice application, although you have it, but all text to voice applications have one deficiency, very great deficiency, which ChatGPT does not have. That if I will now use this lesson, then any text to voice engine will start, it does not have capability to determine the language. So if it is created for English language, it will try to read this as if those French words are written in a wrong English. This, look what this application does.
L'intelligence artificielle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
Introduction.
can't hear it through
Bonjour,
the
élèves de
system.
5e. Aujourd'hui, nous allons découvrir un domaine passionnant appelé intelligence artificielle, ou IA en abrégé. L'IA consiste à apprendre aux machines à penser et à apprendre comme les humains. C'est comme si on leur donnait un cerveau propre. Qu'est-ce que l'intelligence artificielle ? L'intelligence artificielle désigne des systèmes informatiques capables d'acquérir.
Do you see the difference?
I,
By the way, the first word it has written in English. It
Yeah,
written
no.
intelligence artificielle because it didn't determine the language yet, but then immediately determined the language and tries absolutely amazing French pronunciation.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't hear I can hear you very well, but I can't hear whatever's being played. So it's not coming through the system for whatever reason. But anyway, I understand your point in terms of it's recognizing a second language. The one of the other feedback certainly we've heard with the app when artificial voices are used. Again, this is more intermediate and advanced users, but they often look for things like where to stress words in context, and many of them feel that the speech to text, the voice, doesn't really provide that. So, they use these general computer systems, but they still find that they need real human tutors to to try and understand things like intonation, or where things are stressed, where they're going too fast, maybe. Although I guess the too fast is dealt with in your system by the shadowing, so you get used to the pace anyway. But again, so like I say, there's clearly multiple challenges in here. I do like your approach. I like the fact that it's different to where the rest of the crowd is heading. And so, what I really want to try and get from yourself, and maybe you don't have an exact answer, but it's, again, trying to understand what you are ultimately looking for, and how much you'd like to be involved or not involved with a company. It's trying to understand those aspects, really.
Paul, of course, we always have that feature. We judge according to our experience. What you have said now, it's your experience, but experiences in the past. You said that students prefer native speakers. We talked about that, and it's absolutely determined that native speakers are the worst teachers. Native speakers do not understand English. Native speakers do not know. There are so many articles on that. They do not understand grammar. They cannot teach. They're worse teachers. So what concerns intonation and artificial voice, you experience old text-to-voice programs. You didn't experience ChatGPT. You didn't work with it extensively. And you cannot imagine how close it is. And by the way, we cannot even think about human recording. It's not possible. It's not possible. Human recording, when we have millions of new lessons created every second and on every topic possible, we need ChatGPT voice, and the voice is perfect. Because we understood before that pronunciation is irrelevant. What is relevant is fluency. Mm-hmm. And everybody will get its own pronunciation. That's why Russian speaks Russian English, Chinese English. You shouldn't correct it, and it doesn't matter who records it. ChatGPT is uncomparable with old, even natural reader. I liked it, that old text to voice reader, but it cannot compete with ChatGPT. It cannot determine language. It cannot change the speed. It can do nothing compared to what ChatGPT does. Your second question. Of course, I would like to be involved in every step. I offer not only technical specification, which is a great portion on the great part of creating application. I offer support. I offer quality assurance. Do you know what is quality assurance in programming?
Yes.
So I offer all those services and for free because I am interested to bring it to the world because I know from my 30 years experience, from my thousands and thousands of customers who thanked me in their letters, I never had any single complaint. The only complaint I remember I had why you didn't do application for learning Arabic. That was the only complaint. But by the way, even that complaint is irrelevant now because you can use it for learning Arabic with our AIWAT. You can use it for any language. So, of course, I am interested. I am willing to participate. And as I mentioned in your, you did ask me about the second time we were discussing before, about royalty. What royalty you assign to me, most probably I will accept it.
Okay.
So
yeah,
okay.
I mean, obviously I can put forward a proposal on that if you like, and then like obviously review it in terms of acceptable. And like I said, I mean, I think it would be very interesting to get you involved with the company. So that's good that you're looking to have an involvement rather than just here's a patent, off you go kind of thing. So that's good. Obviously, you're very passionate about this, and obviously you've got a clear method that you think, like I said, is applicable for helping improve students. I would say that we do, as things come up, it will be interesting to explore how we address those, because I'm sure things will come up just in terms of that's life, right? Stuff happens. So again, back to where we are today. We're looking to raise more cash at the moment. I think that if we're successful in that, then I would definitely be interested in engaging further. Basically, that's my cards on the table.
I am a bit confused here because I thought it should be done a little bit different. You have a programmer. You have a small staff, I understand. By the way, now you have 10 employees, according to LinkedIn. I don't know if it's 9 or 10.
No. I don't know where LinkedIn gets that from. There's 5 of us altogether.
Only 5. Okay. Do you have a programmer?
Yes. Everybody programs.
I think you have to stop developing, excuse me for my rough English, developing articulate, it will go nowhere. You have to start doing this immediately, and you can create it very quickly because we have all components. The good programmer, and I understand that your programmer knows Flutter, it's a very powerful language, can create it very, very quickly. I believe maybe in 3 or 4 weeks. Then, by creating even the first version of this application and creating a video for this application, you can start going to trying to finance and financial support, etc. Because investors, especially clever investors, they need something which is real, new, fundamentally new, which gives them the vision. So we have to start doing it immediately, show them the vision, show them the first possibilities, and then they will jump on with their support.
Yeah, so I definitely understand what you're saying about in terms of being able to show something to investors. They're definitely more orientated to seeing tangible items. I mean, where I am at the moment in terms of development schedule, we've got numerous things that we're doing for pretty large clients that we're not really going to be able to stop because then our current investors won't be very happy. But in terms of, like I said, I am interested in this, and yeah, I'd like to start building it in for sure. So I guess it's just a case of working out what that timeline is. And like I said, and at the moment, we'll be starting a cycle of going through funding and that type of thing. So yeah, just so you know where we are.
But the best efforts for funding is to show them something new, that you are thinking, that you are with the latest revolution every day. ChatGPT is revolution. It actually destroys everything what was before, including articulate old application. It destroys everything. So then you have to show them something that we have discovered the way how to use. But at the same time, keep in mind, and I have written extensively every day, nearly every day I publish an article and I have written there. Artificial intelligence will work only if you use new pedagogy. If you try to use it as a new technology and to bring new technology to the old pedagogy, you will fail. You will fail faster because of new technology, but you will definitely fail. So, and here in this application, we have a combination of everything. Do you remember I've sent you the title of the book Self-Learning Revolution?
Yes, you sent me various bits through LinkedIn, I think. Yes.
Okay. Let me explain you something. I didn't mention it before. Self-Learning Revolution is done by Dr. Voss, and her previous work was published or sold 10 million copies. It will be published in 2 or 3 months. The contract, everything is already. And she has selected for learning method, my method.
Mm-hmm.
And I can show you now the text which will be there in that book. And it is the next revolution. It will be the next revolution after ChatGPT because education should change. No classrooms anymore. Self-learning. Classrooms are used only to have your students and to guide them, coach them, but the teaching and learning is done by self-learning. And we were brought to this stage gradually. That's why that book, 500 pages, is ready to be published. It will be published in a few months, and our method is there. Only our method, not any other. Because we respond to ChatGPT, to self-learning revolution, to subconscious training. I think it's more than enough to understand that with this, you will become the king in language industry, but we have to move fast.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think, yeah, let me go away and think about that. I think you're pretty clear. And I just have to look at when we could start scheduling something to happen.
write a proposal,
Hmm.
and let's start working.
Okay, I will come back to you. All right, thanks, Arkady. Thanks for your time. I'll definitely, like I said, I'll put some thought cycles into when we can schedule something, and then I'll come back to you. Oh, and like definitely in terms of proposal, I'll put something together on that for the next couple of days, just to give you to look at and think about.
Do you want to see, should I send you the technical specification for AIWAT?
I don't think so. At this time, it's more about me trying to figure out how we get the time and where that goes to really start building this. And like I said, I've got that on. I know I've got funding activities that I've got to do a lot of. But let me come back to you before sending that, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Great. Thank you again for your time. Bye
Thank you.
now.
Thank you.